GameKO. Welcome back, coders, to another quick video. Tonight we're checking out something, well, I guess today, depends on when you're watching, tonight, tomorrow, to morning, whatever. We are playing Jedi Fallen Order on Xbox Series X. The reason for this, I know, it came out a long time ago, is first, it's on Game Pass. So if you haven't played it, you should 100% check it out. It's a fantastic game. Really much enjoying it. I haven't beaten it yet, but I'm still working my way through it. I'm about, I think, 2/3 of the way through, maybe halfway through. But the other thing to note is that Xbox Series X specifically and PS5 specifically got their next-gen patches. So we're going to be taking a look at the Xbox Series X one. I can take you through some of the patch notes just to give you a general idea of what the PS5 got and what the Xbox Series X got, because there are some minor differences. So first things first, we're going to just be checking out the 60 FPS mode to start this video. But there are some major differences between both the 60 FPS mode and the 4K mode, because there's two versions. There's 60 FPS that dynamically scales on the Xbox Series X, dynamically scales from 1080p to 1440p, with the 1440p being the upper bounds. Although I will say, I think it hovers very close to the 1440p, except in the most hectic fight sequences. But if frame rate is your concern, don't worry, it never drops a frame. Has not dropped a single frame since I've been playing, and I've been playing for about an hour now on the latest patch. So really, really good things to see from it. On the 4K version, it goes all the way up from 1440p to a full 2160p, which is great for those looking for the cleanest image. It just locks it down to 30 FPS. So we'll go into here and I'll show you the visuals menu, which looks very similar. You have motion blur, film grain, chromatic aberration, camera shrink, shake, and performance mode. Now, a couple things to note. I do recommend you turn off film grain and chromatic aberration. I think it dramatically affects the image. I'll show you that in a second, except for as much when performance mode is disabled. So it says in the menu it limits it to 1080p, which is not true. Since the patch, it actually goes up to 1440p, which is really nice because it is a very clean image. So I'm going to show you real quick. Now, this is a 1080p recording, so you might not be able to see a super big difference, but there is still a difference. I'm going to show you this shot, just kind of give you a little crotch shot, because I think it gives a good example of the definition that you're getting there. I would be hard-pressed to say that this isn't native 2160p, if not very close to it. It's always had sort of a soft image because of the reconstruction technique they used, but with a lot more pixels, I'm noticing there's much less issue with that. So that's the 4K version, and I do recommend playing it if you don't mind a little bit less input latency. But I will say, I think that they improved this too, because it feels better to use than I remember it. So you're not going to be sacrificing a ton, but I mean, like, look at the detail you're getting out of this. Just comparing some of these images here. This mode is definitely worth playing in. I don't think you're sacrificing anything. And oh my god, if you play it on a 1080p screen, you're getting that super sampled, and it is insanely crisp. So that's the 4K mode. We're going to go back to the 60 FPS mode, and we're going to talk a couple about these graphical options. So motion blur is a preference. On 30 FPS, I think it matters more. It helps smooth out the image more than 60 FPS. So we'll turn that off for the 60 FPS mode. Film grain and chromatic aberration. Before I jump, well, as I jump back, I'm going to show you what those kind of bring back in, see if I can show you a good example of this, and then we'll just play a little bit to give you a good example of the gameplay. So right off the bat, the film grain just kind of gives it a bit of a haze, but what you'll notice, especially in certain scenes, is that chromatic aberration will start to make these edges along the left and right side of the screen fuzzier. And so when you're already taking a slightly lower resolution image, it just makes it look a little worse. So we're going to take this, and personally, I like to turn these off in most games, so I would recommend that as well. I'm going to turn off film grain and chromatic aberration, and then we're going to take that same shot that we got on the 4K mode. If I can get it lined up correctly. Okay, we're going to do this again. 4K mode, and as you can see, ever so slightly softer, ever so slightly. But I mean, obviously it's running at least at max at 1440p. I would be blown away if this scene right here isn't running at 1440p. So we're gonna go ahead and dive off. Got our dodges and our rolls. So show you a little gameplay. You can see you don't need the motion blur when you're running at 60. It's just so clean that it's gonna look really great. But the detail in this game is truly stunning, so it's a really, really fun time. I highly recommend you play Jedi Fallen Order. As for the PS5 version, there are a couple differences, and it's something to note. There is a high-resolution mode, but there is no 4K mode. It goes up. High-resolution mode locks it to 1440p as the highest bounds. I think this is something to do with the fact that the backwards compatibility mode is a little less robust and doesn't give them as many options when doing this. Ooh. Oh, I missed. Fuck you. And then on the frame rate mode, which they also have a 60 FPS mode, which is locked, so don't worry about that. It's going to be an incredibly smooth experience. That is locked to 1200p. So not 1080p, which is good. You're getting a little bit better experience than that, but also not 1440p like on Xbox Series X. I do not 100% know why. It doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of difference in the hardware. So this could be a couple reasons. Like I said, I think the combination of just the fact that this is like, it is on Game Pass, so obviously Microsoft has some sort of deal with them. There may be some marketing things that go into that. I do not know. I would say that's less likely than backwards compatibility is just a little easier on the Series X. Oh, they don't shoot unless you have your sword out. This is interesting. Well, you're dead. But you can see the image is absolutely great, and there's no drop frames. Oh my god, guys, I am sorry. Talking and playing, I am not doing a good job. Don't worry, we'll get better. Oh, fuck you. Well, fuck you. Now you're dead. This game already had an incredible graphics engine. And I just think it comes and shines even more on the Series X. It's one of those things that if you hadn't played on the PC and you played it on last gen, you might want to go back to it because it looks mind-blowing now. It looks better than the One X can provide, the PS4 Pro can provide by quite an order of magnitude, I think. You can tell that a lot of their graphics are done with post-processing, which is kind of interesting.
BD, think you can charge this?
And we're off. Oh yeah, so smooth. I was playing this pre-patch previously, and it did have a 1080p 60 mode, and it was always locked at 60 now that it was on the Series X. Whereas like it ran in easily like 30 to 40s. They say 45 on their website in the patch notes, but I don't believe that. 60s on the Xbox Series X. But it was locked at 1080p maximum, and I think it even dynamically scaled occasionally, which is just a big bummer right there. Okay, so we have to go down here, which is good. We're on our way to the right path.
I think we're getting close. I noticed it.
We're gonna do a quick switch back just to show you again. We'll play a little bit in the 4K mode again.
Feeling in the pit of my stomach. At first I thought it was
you can see the ghosting a little bit on the movement of his hair if you're looking really closely or on the character. And that's because of the reconstruction technique they use. It's one little downside that they have to not running at a native 4K all the time, or that temporal anti-aliasing that they're using. Probably the latter. We're gonna meditate since we need some healing juices. We do have skill tree available, but we're not even gonna do that because we're just playing a little bit of the game. Hopefully this gives you a good look at what this game's all about and how it's running. And yeah, leave a comment in the video to let me know if you're appreciating this kind of content, if you want to see more, if you want to get my opinion on how all of these games are both running, but also just like my overall impressions on them. You can just see this looks so good in the 4K mode. But the motion blur is kind of missed. It does look a little choppy because of it. So I'm going to go ahead and actually do that. Turn motion blur back on. Oops, I did not do it. And you can see it really does smooth that out a lot. And again, I don't think there's a single frame skip on 30 FPS mode either, even when it's running at a full fat 4K. So, and there shouldn't be. We got some enemies.
Unproductive human.
Okay, he's gonna go take over that guy. Oh, he smacked my face. Can you beat his ass quicker, droid? And there you go. You get a sick ending. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Real quick, I'm going to mess with my... Well, you know what? We'll do that another time. Okay, here we go. Acquire an upgrade. A climb up a zip line. How useful is that?
This motor should do the trick. How does it feel?
Here, we're going to switch back to the 60 FPS mode in a close-up because it really does look great. Like, look at that. The actual image quality goes down just ever so slightly. You might notice it on a 4K TV, but on a 1080p monitor or anything lower, you're not going to notice it, and that's just fantastic. No way to get over there. Okay, so now I think we have to just, yep, make our way back up. And we're back. So now what we do, tell BD to charge this bitch. And then work our way up. What? Okay. Bigger jump. Oh, okay. My combat has been awful. You're gone.
We'll win easy.
Awesome combat.
It's a range fight now. You killed them all.
Killed you too. Jedis are not good people, apparently. So there we go. I want to see if I can get a nice cutscene. Here we go. Blast this over. I don't think we're going to be able to get a cutscene very, very soon, so... What the fuck?
Get away from it. Open fire.
Oh, I can just do that. Hey, weirdo bitch. We got this opened up. Now we got a shortcut. Very cool. And we'll make our way down just a little bit longer and we'll wrap up the video. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying this. Ooh, here we go.
Jedi. Right here. No pain won't stop me. You are so very weak.
And you're dead. Slice you in half, you little bitch ass. I would highly recommend if okay, so if I had to make a recommendation, I'm gonna recommend that we play this on the 60 FPS mode. I think it is good enough quality now that there is no reason to not play it at 60 FPS. That's how you die. Okay, weird. Why can't I get that? Let me see. Oh, to the right. I have to go to the right. So the map will show you where you got to go a little bit. That's nice. Oh, yeah. I was close. I just dropped down for no reason. Here we go. We got some platforming time. Let's see if we can do this. Oh, I wanted to jump back up there. I saw something on the side. I'm going to see if I can do this. Nope, that's okay. I'm gonna stop dying. Perhaps I can come back later. Oh, here we go. This is what we can do. I'm too much of a pro. That's the thing. I'm just too much of a pro.
My men will double their efforts. We'll get inside, Officer Crane.
Oh my god, I made it. Oh my god, I can't believe I made it. This game has always had like a very attractive art style and graphical style, so this is just finally getting a chance for this game's graphics to truly shine, and I really appreciate it. I've been having such a good time like revisiting some of these classic Xbox games and PS5 games and stuff like that through next gen because the lens is just so much clearer. It's like getting a pair of glasses when you've been hard of sight. Hard of sight? Is that that's not the term. I'm really dumb. Hard of hearing is the term. You've had bad eyesight. Finally, we can be here, you know? Ooh, what's this? I don't know where I'm going. Oh, this is where this is where I'm supposed to go. Oh, perfect. You get to see me get my ass kicked. It is uneasy though.
I know your name, your past, and most importantly, about Cordova. Tell me, where did he hide the holocron?
Ooh.
Outstanding.
Oh, she crazy bitch. That was stupid.
You can't run forever. A poor show of skill.
Break her down. Oh, I gotta hit with my heavy.
Stim BD.
That was not well.
Ah, she's hitting me. Ow. Oh, she gon' oh, ow. Oh, just in time. BD! BD, let's go! Oh, how the turntables have
Not quite as
turned.
gifted as Sear's last apprentice, but not bad.
You've been keeping count.
Okay, quick. Switch the visual quality.
I'm surprised she didn't tell you. Sarah was never good
It's just
at
a little
keeping
bit sharper,
secrets.
and it's
And
nice.
you know her so well, huh?
She was weak. Cracked in an Imperial torture chair. Surrendered the
God, the
location
detail.
of her naive Padawan. They would
You
never
guys
have
haven't played
found
this
me.
game. Spoilers!
If it wasn't for her,
Ooh.
she betrayed me.
Trilla.
In the flesh.
In the flesh. You can see I haven't done my eye
Won't let
makeup
you
for a while, or
manipulate
maybe
me.
I've done too much.
So sure are you? When faced with the choice to protect herself or her Padawan, she chose self-interest. She'll sell you out too.
Okay.
Well, I can handle myself.
Can you afford to take that chance? Your new master harbors great darkness. The look on her face when she saw what they had done to me, as I am now. She turned, exposing her true nature. She used the dark side.
She cut herself off from the Force.
Oh? How long before she cracks and betrays you too? Is that who you want beside you when you find the holocron? What would Jaro Tapal say?
You have no right
What
to
would
mention his
Jaro
name.
the
I
Paul
wonder.
say?
What would he think if he could see his Padawan now, skulking in the shadows with a betrayer, granting her access to a legion of impressionable students?
I won't let anyone touch them.
I thought the same thing once.
Dun dun dun. Okay, we're gonna get in a nice little spotlight. Look really cool. Well, sort of. There we go. Well, thank you guys again for tuning into today's video. Like I said, this is kind of a deep dive into the type of graphic options you're going to want to choose, which ones you're going to want to enable, and which mode you should play through this game in. Like I said, I'm just going to do it one more time to show you guys exactly what I like. Motion blur generally on, but I can turn it off for 60 FPS. Film grain off. Chromatic aberration off. Camera shake's fine, but again, if that bothers you, turn it off. It doesn't actually affect the visual quality. And performance mode on. Because, my God, it looks good in performance mode now. So, great job, EA. This is the last time I hope to compliment you for at least a couple more months until Mass Effect comes out. I try not to unless they actually do something good. This is actually something good. Thank you again. Make sure to like the video. Comment on what mode you're going to play, 60 FPS or 30 FPS, and the 4K or the 1440p mode. Which one you prefer. And hit the bell for notifications if you subscribe. And as always, stay classy, coders.